The temperature starts dropping, even just a little bit. The rain starts falling, the sun sets earlier, and you feel the urge to sit curled up with a blanket and some tea and a good book. But there's so many to choose from, and so many that don't quite fit that chill, cozy vibe. So where do you start? I know there's a lot of book recommendations out there, but I think these are ones that really stand the test of time, really do bring that fall vibe, and they're just a nice little touch of nostalgia to help bring you back to a cozy place, especially if you're an adult and you're not in this place of life of like that childlike wonder quite so much anymore. They have a really great timeless feel to them, and I hope that we can just enjoy looking at them together. The first one is obvious for fall. Frog and Toad, specifically Frog and Toad all year. The illustrations for Frog and Toad are just simply beautiful. They have a limited color palette, so they're really low stem. And the relationship that Frog and Toad has is really sweet. They're just sweet little companions, and they go on these like silly little adventures. You know, it's just these really simple stories, and I just think they're really cute, funny, and the illustrations are beautiful. The second book is Paddington. We love Paddington in this house. And it's just really sweet. Like, he's just a cute little bear, and he loves to eat snacks, and it's British, and it's just really precious. And I really recommend reading it, especially as an adult, even if you don't have kids, because they're just really sweet books with some beautiful illustrations. The third book is actually a 2-for-1, and it's the original Winnie the Pooh. The first two books of the series are about Winnie the Pooh specifically and his friends in the 100-Acre Wood. And I had never read them until this year, and they are so funny, like unexpectedly hilarious, and so poignant and melancholy at the same time. And I really just think they are just great stories, and I totally understand now why they are classics. Sweet themes of friendship and, you know, how are we friends with people that are different than us? How can we all live together and, you know, coexist? And then the longevity of relationships too. I'm probably making it deeper than the author intended, but they're just really sweet books. The fourth book that I'm recommending is Brambley Hedge. I really love the whole treasury. The author has these beautiful, beautiful illustrations of these mice that live in the woods, but they are like proper mice. Like, they have little outfits, and they have furniture, and they live in little trees, and they have, like, you know, they throw weddings. Like, it's just the most whimsical, beautiful book. Seriously gorgeous. Watercolor illustrations. The stories are just so precious and so chill and sweet, and there's not really any peril in any of the stories. They are just kind of little mice living their lives, you know, and it's just really comforting and really sweet and perfect for sitting and just kind of relaxing and wanting to turn your brain off. I feel like this is a really good option. The fifth book is the Beatrix Potter Treasury. I know I'm cheating a little bit by not just giving one specific story with these. I'm giving the treasuries. However, these are children's books, so the stories are really short. And the treasuries are often inexpensive. You can really, truly find these secondhand at thrift stores pretty often. But you always want to make sure you get the one with the illustrations and the color illustrations, because that is really what makes them special. Her artwork is just so magical and just so soft and, again, really comforting. And it really just gives you this pastoral vibe of the English countryside and, you know, what are the animals doing there? Which may not be a question that you ask yourself too often as an adult, but I feel like as a child, I was asking myself that a lot, of what are the animals doing when they live in their trees or in their holes in the ground? And this is just such a whimsical answer to that. So it's really a beautiful option. Now, these books are chapter books, so you have less illustrations and you have more story. These are still books that are not adult. They are still kind of for a younger audience, but they are so cozy. They have great characters, and they are perfect for that chill, just wanting to snuggle kind of vibe, but still have a little bit of adventure. The first one I'm gonna recommend is The Little Princess. This is a classic. I was born in the 90s, so I grew up on the Little Princess movie from like the 90s. It came in the VHS and it had the little locket, and that was my prized possession for many years as a child. I always loved the story, and then I read the book about 3 or 4 years ago. It's just a good little adventure story, honestly. Another little cheat option is pretty much any Nancy Drew book, which I know there's like 100. So you just pick one and you go with it. But Nancy Drew is just perfect for this season. I feel like we forget about these older books. Like, I remember reading them when I was in the 5th grade. I loved them. I just like ripped through all of them and then read them again and read them again. And as an adult, like, these stories, like these like little mysteries are just so fun in the fall and the spooky, time of year. And they're just, man, like, just great stories, good friendship, good clues, 50s vibes. I feel like that just kind of covers all the bases for a cozy fall book. The 3rd chapter book I'm totally going to recommend is Redwall. This one can be really hard to find in print. I'm not even sure if it is in print anymore. I got really lucky and found one at a thrift store, and I have not seen one since. But it is about, again, it's about little animals that live in the forest. The little mice live in like a monastery, and the mouse has to go on this quest. And that's kind of what it's about. It's like, what if you had the cute little animals, but they're kind of in like medieval times? And also there's like knighthood and really good food, like bread. So that's kind of the vibe of Redwall. It's got a little mystery, it's got adventure, it's got fighting, it's got a good villain. It's really a great book. I think anyone of any age would love it, especially in the fall. The 4th chapter book is kind of an obvious one. I feel like this one makes it onto anybody's list, and that's because it's really good. So you should read it. But it's The Hobbit. The Hobbit was originally written for children as like a kind of introductory into The Lord of the Rings, and it is kind of a perfect story. There's lots of good friendship in it. There's adventure, there's treasure, there's magic. If you're not really into fantasy, or you're not into The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit is still a good option because it's like Lord of the Rings light, basically, and it's just a really good story, and especially if you're wanting some adventure, 10 out of 10, great book. And the 5th book, the last book on the whole list that I'm going to recommend, is Little House in the Big Woods. I know everyone recommends Little House on the Prairie, but in my opinion, the best book of the series is the very first one, Little House in the Big Woods. It's by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and she is like 5 years old, and her family has not gone out west yet. They are living in the big woods, I believe, of Wisconsin. And the whole book is just absolute cozy winter autumnal vibes. They make maple candy out of like in the snow. Like I said, I know there's a lot of book recommendations out there. I personally have really enjoyed trying to work through a lot more of the classics, specifically the children's classics, just because that's the stage of life that I'm in right now. I have a toddler, so we're reading more kids' books. But there is so much value to children's books. The stories are rich, they are slow, they are calm, and they are comforting. And I feel like in this season, moving into winter, starting to get ready for the holidays, I feel like that is exactly what I'm looking for, is just comfy, chill, cozy vibes. And I feel like these books are just really great for that. Have you read any of these books? Did you grow up reading any of these books? Let me know down below which one's your favorite, and if you decide to read any of them, I would really love to hear and discuss which ones that you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. All right, bye.